Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Sha'Carri Richardson, which some of you may know due to her massive Olympic scandal that actually ended up, becoming such a big deal. It was like global news for a minute, right? I mean, she basically tested positive for marijuana use before her run at the Olympics, and therefore was disqualified, as marijuana is actually a banned substance and is considered in a way to kind of be cheating. And I actually ended up defending Sha'Carri Richardson when all of this happened, and I kind of regret that now, because not only has she shown that she's not really someone who deserves being defended, she seems to be kind of honestly an asshole, but also at the same time, such a defense of her seems to have inflated her ego to the point that, she seems to think that she's something that she's not, okay? So before I go ahead and get into this whole thing here, I do want to say Sha'Carri Richardson is a talented person, to be as fast as she is, to be as established in the track and field industry as she is. It takes a lot of work. It takes pretty much, a lifetime of dedication, sure, but the way that she has behaved recently has highlighted something that kind of just proves that maybe she's taking this entire situation to her head a little too much. So she really kind of exploded in popularity when, once again, she got caught and tested positive for marijuana use, and, a lot of people were staunchly against her. Obviously she did know what she was doing. But then at the same time, a lot of people defended her, feeling that, marijuana use wasn't something she should be banned over or anything like that. It was kind of a big situation. Well, in the last couple weeks, Sha'Carri Richardson has kind of made a complete ass out of herself, for real. And it's getting to the point where people are like publicly questioning their support for her. Because in all reality, the way that she's been behaving is not only unnecessary, it's just deliberately being a complete fucking asshole for the sake of doing so. And when it comes down to it, it's just not acceptable, okay? So, Sha'Carri Richardson did not run at the Tokyo Olympics, and she kind of hyped up, I guess, her quote-unquote return, right? Where she was going to prove the world basically wrong about their issues with her smoking weed and everything. She was going to prove that she's one of the greatest track and field stars on the planet. And so she had that opportunity when she returned to competing at the Prefontaine Classic in Oregon. So there was 9 runners that competed in the Prefontaine Classic, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some footage of how that whole thing happened. So
100. And a good start for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Thompson, hurrah! Richardson being left behind, and out in front, the Olympic champion does it again. 10.5.
So as you saw from the footage, I don't know if you guys know this, but Sha'Carri Richardson was actually in last place. So in this 9-person run, she finished 9th, aka last place. She was absolutely decimated by, I believe, 3 Jamaican runners. Jamaicans, by the way, are known for their dominance in track and field. They are absolutely kick-ass at what they do. Like, you have to give credit to the Jamaicans. They absolutely torch track and field. They're great at it, but Sha'Carri had an extremely disappointing performance, considering just weeks ago, she was in a Kanye West Beats commercial, having his upcoming song, No Child Left Behind, played over her, I guess, little footage or whatever. She was becoming a superstar over the controversy and everything, and she got absolutely fucking torched. And in all reality, that's okay, right? You win some, you lose some. That's cool, If you come out, you place 9th, that's fine. The only issue was she's been running her fucking mouth the whole time, talking about how she's gonna prove to the world how great of a runner she is, and how she's about to, prove everybody wrong, but then of course gets absolutely shit on by everybody else in this competition. I mean, let's go ahead and imagine the circumstances if LeBron James came out and said he's sweeping in the finals next year and got another first-round exit. Can you imagine if Tom Brady made a statement tomorrow saying he's guaranteeing a Super Bowl and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't even make the playoffs? Because that's essentially what happened here. She got absolutely fucking smoked. Like, she got rolled up like a blunt, and her post-game interview was actually quite interesting because she made an ass out of herself. Go ahead and take a look.
This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the shit you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me.
So as you can see, not only did she, basically take losing like a complete fucking sore loser. She also made a fool out of herself. She swore on, I guess, national television here, which isn't a big deal to me, but I mean, it's probably a pretty big deal to your brand new sponsors that you've been pulling. But the funniest part was when the other racers actually walked behind her and they were visibly laughing at her because she was making a complete fucking clown out of herself after placing last. You know what I'm saying? And people's defense of this seems to be making it a racial issue, when in all reality, this is not a racial issue. I mean, if any athlete of really any color came out and acted as cocky as Sha'Carri has pretty much over, the last few weeks, and then got entirely and utterly embarrassed by the global competition in front of all of these spectators and TV, people would have some shit to say. Of course, when you also then spend the post-game interview, which, by the way, they gave her a post-game interview after she placed last, right? And you act this way, like, yeah, people are gonna take notice and fucking say something. So, unfortunately, this has not been the end of Sha'Carri Richardson's acts on, the global stage here. So, in fact, she actually took on one of the other track and field stars. So, she was mentioned by Allison Felix, who actually was very supportive of her, and she ended up shading her on Instagram for absolutely no fucking reason. So, to give you the gist of it, Allison Felix basically said that, she hopes that people support Sha'Carri and that she has done a lot of good things for the sport and that she thinks she has a promising future ahead of her and everything. And so Sha'Carri posted this on her Instagram. Encouraging words on TV shows are just as real as, well, nothing at all. So, pretty unnecessary comment to make about somebody who just globally defended you on live television after you made a complete fucking moron of yourself. Not really sure why you would do that. Kind of, makes you look bad, but unfortunately, it still doesn't really end there, okay? So, she, got banned from the Olympics, whatever, right? She placed last place in her first competition since that. Okay. She'd been talking a bunch of shit, hyping herself up, and failed. Okay. She had a post-game interview where she took the opportunity to make a fool out of herself. Okay. She then went on to shade another great track and field star for being supportive of her and trying to publicly defend her. Okay. So we're going to defend all this shit, that's fine. Apparently it's somehow a racial issue, even though I think most people will just agree they don't like cocky people being assholes and then not being able to defend that. But then she just unfortunately made an ass of herself even more. And this is kind of what helped prompt make the video, because in all reality, I would have forgiven everything else. But then the shit that she pulled off, I guess, like a very, I guess, racist / prejudiced comment, I guess, about Jamaicans. I don't really know what to consider it. It's just fucking, it's blatantly offensive, right? So Sha'Carri Richardson's official Twitter liked a tweet by somebody who said, "Not y'all Jamaicans still talking shit when y'all gotta walk barefoot to your coconut stand every day for a living." So obviously, Jamaicans are not walking barefoot to a coconut stand every day to make a living, okay? This is not anything fucking realistic here, okay? Like, yeah, Jamaica, it's not one of the richest countries on the planet or the most developed countries on the planet, but to pretend like it's just an island of backward fucking savages like this is absolutely fucked up. And so people are kind of defending this by saying, oh, well, we don't know if Sha'Carri actually liked this, or, if it was a manager or something. Let's go ahead and get something straight here. Any PR manager that you hire is going to know not to engage with this type of hateful shit, right? They're going to know that people can see what you like on Twitter, the shit that you endorse, right? That's gonna be visible, okay? No PR manager is gonna risk that nightmare of doing something like this. So logically, I'm going to assume that also given Sha'Carri's behavior of blatant disrespect for all of her competition, and pretty much for everybody in general at this point, right, that she's the one who liked this shit. So this became a news story, and it's become kind of a big deal too. So it's just really gotten to the point where, like, I'm starting to question everything that she fucking does. I mean, I was a supporter of Sha'Carri at first, but the way that she's behaved is just unacceptable. I mean, you can make any defense that you want. It's not going to hold up. Being, the 6th fastest woman of all time does not give you the right to be a hateful piece of shit to people. Losing your mom is not an excuse to be a hateful piece of shit to people. Being disqualified from the Olympics is not an excuse to be a hateful piece of shit to people. Losing in your first competition back after you were being a complete ass, talking about how great you are and everything, is not an acceptable thing to do. You cannot treat people like pieces of shit. And it's especially not acceptable to like something like this, blatantly disrespecting the culture and identity of the opponents who, by the way, fucking torched you, as if that's just cool, right? And if you really think about it, if what you're saying is true, how embarrassing is it that you got completely fucking pack-smoked LMAO'd by 3 people who quote-unquote have to walk barefoot to a coconut stand for a living? Like, if these people, you know, are living like this, what does it say about you that they absolutely fucking burned you in front of everybody, right? Realistically, none of this makes sense, and, you know, there's no real excuse for it. I mean, you can cry, oh, racism. It has nothing to do with racism. I mean, I feel like people from all backgrounds can agree that this is just absolutely blatantly ridiculous behavior, and someone needs to step in, bro. Like, she needs to have a team around her that handles these outbursts, this bullshit, or, like, she needs to get off social media because she's making a complete ass out of herself when in all reality, she could be regarded as like a national hero if she just stopped being an ass. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just, you know, bringing all this up and signing out.